Hello everybody and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will, I'm a D&D sex icon and I'm back today for another episode of Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and we've got a full cast and crew back with us today. The whole team back together, the whole happy family. And Miff's character died last week, so bringing us right back down to remember that part of the family is dead. But let's go around the cast and crew. Let's remind ourselves of who we are today and who we're playing. We have Grimjack2 on 502. I spent about 10 minutes trying to rename James Introcasso to Greg, but it's just not happening. So here today is James Introcasso in a slightly different body. How's it going tonight, my friend?
Awesome. Grimjack2 on 502 on the Twitches and the Twitters. We are here for the penultimate episode of Waterdeep Dragon Heist, where this intrepid band of adventurers is going through their own carving of a legend inside the module and campaign known as Waterdeep Dragon Heist. We will get a few answers today and perhaps a few more questions, but it all leads to next week when we see who makes it, who doesn't, and what is the cost of splendor in the city of. Let's get to it.
I love it. I love it. And we have Pip with us tonight. Pip, how's it going?
Hi, it's going good. It's going good, thank you. I'm excited to be back and to dive back in and find out what on earth happened and what's going on and pretty much.
Good stuff. We have James back with us tonight. James, how's it going, my friend?
Hello. I'm doing very well. I'm happy to be back in Waterdeep after a week off to go to PAX Unplugged. It was delightful, but I missed you guys tremendously. And what did I miss? Myth, you're dead. That's awful. I have a lot of catching up to do, it seems.
Yeah, that was a whole thing last week. Myth, explain yourself. How's it going?
I died. Back to you, Will.
Alrighty, and we... Well, I guess we'll introduce Myth's new character today in a minute. But we have Vandy with us tonight. Vandy, how's it going tonight?
It's going. That was very short and sweet, Myth. Guys, I'm OMG Vandy. I play Ruva, the Tabaxi Barbarian, who may or may not be happy that ye old shoe peddler is gone, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we all make it out alive. Cross our fingers.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Well, as for myself, I'll be playing Graham, the Dragonborn alchemist who is swimming through liquid shit and is being hunted to death by mages. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Before we get into today's game, before we hand over to our town crier to catch everyone up on the dreadful news, I'll remind you guys, we're sponsored here today by fancygrounds.com. Go and check those guys out. It's fantastic virtual tabletop to use. The demo version is free. Go and download it over there on their website, fancygrounds.com. And of course, whalengames.co.uk is a go-to destination for tabletop, board games, war games, and more. And last but not least, tabletoploot.com is a go-to place to get all of your dice needs. They give away a set of dice every game here on Encounter Roleplay, so maybe you can get an early Christmas present for yourself or someone else by watching the show. Stick around till the end and be in for a chance to win. Here is the tweet for you guys. 20 retweets. We'll have a viewer decision where you get to decide something which happens next in our game. And do not forget that you can donate to fund the game as well by giving players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and worse. But I will hand over to Greg to remind us what happened last week on Waterdeep Dragon Heist and to take us into tonight's penultimate episode. Greg, take it away, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And before we get into the town crier shenanigans, I will make a special plea to my trickster gods of chat. They're gonna need you. Don't worry about if you're feeling vengeful, now's a good time to do that. But besides the point, please make sure you retweet. All the things are going to start coming together. They lost somebody last week. They're going to gain somebody, but it's getting tough. So Trickster Gods, you are in play. Take the field and change the course of this story as only the Trickster Gods of chat here on Encounter Roleplay can. And with that, I'll be right back Hold on. Ding, 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 ding. Hear ye! Hear ye! Ruva stole Floon stone while under the influence of magic. Edmur and Graham give chase. Just kidding. Edmur and Graham debate everything. Begrudgingly, they follow Lucifer. Bounty posters everywhere. Morwin, Ruva. Money and information abound. Breaking news! Lucifer irritated. Trail leads to Kyrin Theater of Magic. Oh, but Edmur and Graham believe they should make a new trail. Meanwhile, at the Kyrin Theater of Magic, Ruva is on stage at the mercy of two murderous half-elven illusionists, being stabbed to death. Also, meanwhile, Graham and Edmur on a new trail. Fight for Ruva's life. Artemis is there. Edmur and Graham are not. Chase through the streets. The gang gets separated. Graham viewed as a ruffian forced to dive in sewer. Ruva catches twins, but one vanishes. Edmur transported to rooftop. A soul is the debt. The collector is the Black Viper, otherwise known as the child that Edmur sold all those years ago. Uncle Edmur finds redemption, buys his son, Graham, and friends time. He gives in to the addiction. He becomes one with his sword. The word uncle appears on the blade. The Black Viper gives chase, hoping to find Graham before the mages do. Ruva faces twin and sees Inspector Rosscrow advance alone in the alley. And finally, a special message for the trickster gods of chat. Jarlaxle is in play. I shall see you on the morrow. All right, everybody. And as we get in to our second to last dive into Waterdeep, we are going to start back at London's Fog with Val and Morwen. You two were left behind because of injuries sustained, and because of the rest that you've had, you guys are ready to pursue and go after the remaining members of the group. Gordon is able to provide you with the information that both Graham and Edmur left for the docks, but they also provide you with the information that Ruva, seemingly maybe not of her own free will, left the establishment as well. Lucifer seemingly had picked up her scent and took Edmur and Graham to her. Lucifer has returned, seemingly dismissed by Graham and Edmur. And so I will pick up with the two of you as Morwen, you see the return of the great black and white Lynxian cat. Val, you are all regained, you are awake, you are ready for the attack as London's Fog still suffers from the effects of the blast that occurred outside of its doors, but thanks to the Father of Sighs, you are all fully healed. So, as we begin and go back into the City of Splendors, I will simply ask you, as you enter the common room and Lucifer enters the room from the outside or exterior door, what would you like to do.
Lucifer, what are you doing back here? What?
No sharp words with the kitty cat, please. No sharp words with the only be nice. Hey, where have you been? How you doing?
I was down at the docks. Of course, Val, you here.
Okay, well, where are the others?
They wouldn't listen to me. I took them down to where I smelled the cat that only walks on two legs, and I took them down. They didn't listen. They walked past. I can't get in there. I didn't have any money, so I just came back here.
What is the beast saying, Morwen?
Okay, so Lucifer went down to the docks, and River is inside somewhere, and where are the other two now? Did they go after Ruva?
No, they walked right past the door I took them to.
Oh, okay. Well, they don't understand cat, so they just kind of walk past wherever. We should probably go. Are they okay? Did they just leave you?
Yeah. That's why I came back here.
I'm sorry. Okay, so they're down at the docks. River is in somewhere, but that you need to pay to get into.
Yep.
Yeah. And the two others just went off.
They just went off. I didn't follow them. They were... And then Lucifer looks around like other people can understand Lucifer. They were kind of annoying.
I get it.
They wouldn't listen.
I know. So Lucifer tried to take them to where River was, and they wouldn't listen. So I guess, how are you feeling? Do we go after them?
Yes. We need to find our friends, and I'm going to tie this bandage, this sort of aloe-soaked bandage around my arm and tie it tight. I'm looking for a little action anyway. Let's get going.
Good news. Can you take us back there?
I just went down there, back up, and down there and back up.
Do we have time for a glass of milk? Maybe?
White water?
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
check. Let me check.
Yeah.
Val, do we
yeah.
have time? Okay, we have time. Let's grab a drink before we go, okay?
Okay. And so Lucifer, who is massive, even when they sit down on their haunches, their head is still above the bar, begins to make even more of a mess of things as Gordon provides a huge, soup bowl full of milk for the great cat to drink from. Are you both waiting in here, as there's still activity on the street outside because of the explosion that occurred earlier? But if you're waiting in here, then we can cut elsewhere. If you have something else you'd like to do, we'll stay right here.
I'm good, I think. I'm just gonna wait.
Okay. So as you guys are finishing up, and we're going to say it only takes about 5 minutes for Lucifer to calm down and stop being such a diva, they'll begin to lead you back down to the docks, in which time we will go back through the skies of Waterdeep to the very dock district that we were speaking of. And inside that ward, we will see in an alleyway, not just one half of the half-elven illusory twins standing and facing Ruva, but also at the far end of the alleyway where the pedestrian traffic is thickest, there is a Kenku in a large jacket dusting the ground, walking into the area, as Inspector Rosscrow has discovered this situation. And we will go with Ruva, and we will go with Rosscrow.
I'm still staring at this this girl, I guess, and I'm holding her by the scruff. Where did your other sister go?
She took the stone where it belongs. One of us will get paid.
Who is paying you?
We see everything. We are unseen.
I tighten my grip kind of around her neck. What good
You
is
see her
gold to you if you cannot live to see it?
She raises up one hand, and Myth, Ross Crow would be close enough to see this as well. And inside her palm, almost as if it is enhanced and rendered perfectly, appears a stage. And a curtain pulls back from this stage, floating an inch or two above her palm as she is staring at you, Ruva. And inside this, you see a play. You see a mountain, caves. You see people crawling from beneath the mountain, from out of these caves. You recognize a few of them as being those melted wax people that you fought in London's fog, these vaguely humanoid shapes. And as they come out, you see that they are being whipped, driven by these creatures with long tentacles from their chins. And as they are driven up, you see this field beside the mountain turn into a city of elven design, and then a city of human design, and it grows. And you see these melted wax figures cast off these creatures with the tentacle chins. And you see them grow to prominence in this newborn city, this city of Waterdeep that you are watching from birth to growth. You see them become nobles, merchants, people of power. And then you see another familiar sight, rendered with a bit of a mockery, as perhaps the nose is too big, the chin weaker than what it truly is, and the visage of Volothamp Gadarm appears. You see him writing something. You see that it is accepted by the world as a revelation, exposing these wax figures. You see again the caves under the mountain as they are driven below. You see the sun pass through this illusory sky, all in the palm of this half-elven's hand. And as it passes, sets and passes and sets. Beneath the mountain, the wax figures lurk again. You see them crawl forth. And the camera shifts, and in the palm of the hand of the half-elven, you see another half-elven with a half-elven in the palm, staring at a tabaxi as the circle of the story has reached this point. And she snaps her fingers, and the scene fades. We are everywhere.
I want to snap her neck.
She, while offering resistance, I will ask you only to make a strength check, as you have her completely as you're at her disadvantage and your advantage from last session.
16.
There is a wet snap, and the half-elven girl in your arms goes very still. And then you feel the skin begin to slicken as you look down and see the half-elven form melts away like a candle gone too long to wick. And in your hands is one of those creatures from London's fog, melted imperfect, or perhaps better than. Regardless, they are dead.
I'm gonna turn around and I guess I see Ross Crow there.
Yep.
Officer.
First, you explain.
It's... Do you have time? And maybe a bit of patience?
My patience is unending.
Then let me explain. And I'm gonna tell him the story of how we fought in, or there was a fight in the, oh my gosh. What is
London's
the bar's
Fog?
name? In London's Fog. Oh my god, it always escapes me. How there was a fight in London's Fog, how I disappeared and woke up barely remembering anything, and I woke up on stage with these two girls basically torturing me, and after breaking free, chasing them down and to this.
What was that projection?
It looked like the city's history in a play. But I'm not from here, I don't know this. I saw wax people and monsters humanoid with tentacles on their faces, creating the City of Splendors and then being driven back underground.
I did see that too.
So...
Well, one moment here. There are things I must do. And he kind of waddles over, and he takes like a small bedroll from his side. He has several of them, just tightly wound bedrolls, or just these small quilts. And he unfastens it from the belt, and he covers the body, or what's left of it. And then he pulls out what looks like to be some sort of sending stone, much like something that Edmur had earlier. But he then whispers into it, and then he says, "A team will be here to dispatch of the body. You can keep explaining. I'd like to get to the bottom of this." And as the cigar starts to glow, and as smoke starts to bellow from his beak.
Apparently, I was under the influence of a spell, and I stole a stone. It must be of some kind of importance, but I don't know who put me under this influence.
You stole something, and you are willing to confess.
I stole something, but I was not myself. Does this count as my crime?
This will take a bit of investigating.
I am willing to cooperate. I'm also willing to chase down that other bitch and strangle her the same way. I should probably not incriminate myself any further.
Well, you have others a part of this. Do they know?
They know some things. Graham is, for all intents and purposes, my charge. But I don't know where he is. And there was Edmur, the son of a gun. I don't know where he is either. And I don't know where Val or Morwen are. I haven't seen them in, well, since I was at London's Fog.
London's
And if you
fog.
see a black cat, there's one too.
Black cat.
Large.
Okay, lead
Goes
me
by
there.
Lucifer.
Lead me there to London's fog.
Sure.
Okay, first, please. He brings out a notepad and starts to write with a big white quill.
I'll start leading
As much as
him
he
to
can.
London's fog.
Okay, as you all are getting ready to quit the alleyway, I'd like you both to roll perception checks for me, please. Or investigation, whichever you'd like.
Okay.
Shouldn't I?
Oof. It should pop up. There it is. A 6 for me.
Yep, you're able to negotiate your way out of the alleyway. And we'll see what Roscoe has in a second.
It's loading up right now.
Sure thing. So basically, what I'll give you without the need for a roll is when you turn back and kind of glance at the alley as you leave, much like a scene out of Flash Gordon, you see that the cover that was put over the body begins to sink as you hear this, and this film and fluid begins to leak out from the side of the cloth as whatever is underneath is liquefying.
I was afraid that was gonna happen.
What? What happened?
Yeah.
Where's the body?
Goes back over and lifts up this slimy blanket. Yeah.
It looks as if somebody has mixed tomato soup with chewing gum with just a little bit of actual like fat resin wax, and it's just a smear beneath that kind of pools like cheese from pizza as you lift it up, revealing nothing of identification, just the visual that you all were left with, that there was once a humanoid beneath this cover. However, with a 27, you do see that there, beside where the person had been initially taken by Ruva, there is a satchel that seems to have fallen along the side, something that was decidedly not part of the clothing the half-elven girl was wearing, which seems to have become part of the wax creature whenever it reverted to normal form. This satchel remains.
Was this interesting?
And then he goes and grabs he tries his best to grip the satchel. Actually, I think what he does is he walks over to it and he grabs it with his foot. And he grabs it with his hands as well, and then he kind of starts to inspect. Uses his beak to
He
open the
talons it
pouch.
up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Talons it up into his wing, and then he starts to use his beak to prod around inside and look inside and open the pouch with his beak, and then peers down down the snout past the cigar into it to see what is inside.
What languages do you all speak, both Ruva and Roscoe, and or what is your intelligence score?
Dwarvish,
I
Elvish, Common, and Oran.
Hold on a second. I speak. Oh gosh. I believe it was Aquan. Hold on. Aquan, Common, and Elvish.
Nice. Then you both recognize as written in a variation of Elvish. When you see this, it seems to be something from a very long time ago, carved along a bar of stone. This bar of stone has been, while it is old, the carving is new. And the carving says Kraken's Folly. And Roscoe, once again with your 27, you would know this to be a ship that is currently moored in Mist Shore.
Kraken's Folly. Interesting.
What does it mean?
There's a ship docked in town. Goes by the same name. Interesting.
A hideout, perhaps.
Perhaps. Seems odd it would be a stone carved with this in someone's satchel, maybe an invitation of some sort. Or a meeting place for this one.
If you wouldn't mind, officer, I'd like to gather the rest of my group wherever they are. And then maybe we may investigate this. We are...
You can meet me at the docks. He tries to nod.
Would you not want to come to London's fog?
I should start my investigation. I'll meet you at the dock.
Be careful. And I'm gonna take off towards London's fog.
Okay, so as you begin to retrace your steps, you will recognize that there is still a level of alert on the main street as any pursuit that would have been following the chase that had gone through the streets earlier ended when, with several of the town guard, as they are looking over a open sewer grate that is currently being used to shovel in organic refuse from the Shield Meat a carnival that is going on right now. And a couple of them are looking in, and some of them are smoking and looking down in. You know, one of them's kind of holding a lantern up and looking down as several of the town mages are beginning to surround, and one of them runs up and produces a wand. I've got it! I've got it! And the rest of them, oh, good. And you see him begin to gesticulate in a manner that only practitioners of the arcane can. And you see the wand point into the sewer, and the wizard presumably put their arm as far into the sewer as they can, as you see a geyser of water erupt beside this person as some type of thunderous wave or production of water is being conjured. And all along the street towards the docks, you see covers begin to shift a bit as water presses up against them, letting you know that whatever is happening beneath the streets, it is fully encompassing the sewer's tunnel system with some type of great flushing of water. And as you and Roscrow stand there and look at all of this, Roscrow, you would know that this is a way to flush out somebody that is currently taken to ground. The City Watch they don't like to give chase into the sewers because that's not necessarily your domain or jurisdiction, but it is always fun to use your magics to make a good day into a bad day for a would-be thief. And we will cut to Graham. Graham, about 2 minutes ago, you jumped down into the sewer, into spoiled lettuce, vegetables, and predominantly shit. And as you get into the water and begin to splash around, going fully under, you pop up maybe a half block away towards the dock, as even in the sewers, there is a flow and current to the water systems of Waterdeep, as everything must move towards the sea, else disease and the temples would remain very, very busy. And you're slowly kind of moving. What would you like to do?
This is gross. I guess I just keep swimming. I think so Graham does at this point. Just try and keep his head above the water, try not to drink too much, and go with the flow, quite literally. Oh, he's just sort of crying to himself.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw as you're moving. You know, you're trudging through the sludge.
Oh man, I think that who knows those £10 to give myself a Canadian magic box that allows the owner to step inside, become invisible and undetectable, or the DM's choice of duration. Can be found inside a Canadian magic box.
Why is it Canadian? I'm so curious.
I'm talking
As a
about
Canadian,
all of the boxes I have here in Canada. I think with my house move is what the connection is.
Gotcha.
Let's see.
It's
I
very
rolled
polite.
it's got a bunch of maple
Canadians.
syrup inside. Yeah. 19 is my con save.
Okay, so Will, as Graham is in there, you are able to soldier through this. Unfortunately, this is you've been in this situation recently, as once again you're some. Yeah, so you've gotten a bit of a resistance to it, and so no further with a 19, you're not going to have to make any more con saves, as maybe begrudgingly you're getting a bit used to this.
It's just normal.
Right, as you're going through that one time when you go down and you surface back up, as you surface back up for a moment, you panic, thinking that you have not, in fact, broken the surface of the sewer, but you realize your head is in a box. And as soon as as soon as you're able to kind of lift it free, you realize that it is a specific brewed beer box that must have been thrown down into the sewer system. And but immediately you realize that when your head was in it and you pull it out, you see that on the edges where your thumbs are kind of into the box, your thumbs have disappeared. And you're unsure as to what exactly you found, but your studies, as limited as they were in the university, it doesn't take much to glean that this is in fact some type of discarded item, whether it's cursed or functional. You're not real sure, but I will tell you this specific Canadian magic box is going to give you, if you climb inside of it, you are able to, it can fold up and fit in your pack, but if you climb inside it, it acts like the rope trick spell for 10 minutes. So you are able to basically Metal Gear Solid yourself and just disappear into a box and
You can
creep
Metal Gear
around.
your
If
solid.
you can Metal Gear your solid as you swim through number 2.
It's from the
Okay,
mythic
yeah,
realm of
so-
Canada.
Wow. Graham is, he's a bit of a burrower, I think. So, like, if he has a box he can hibernate in, that's what he's doing as he floats along. Oh, this is great! I'm saved! Just hide in my little box as I float along the shit sewers.
Yeah, and as you're still very much floating in the shit water, but you got the box over your head, and as it would look from the outside, it's just a box floating along the top of a shit river. That is until a couple minutes later when you begin to hear a rumbling from whence you came, as a
Oh! I look back. Can I see anything?
When you peek the box up, because this is the sewer system and there are intermittent splashes of daylight kind of creeping into the area, or torchlight and globe light from above, you see a wave of water that reaches from shit level to ceiling, rushing towards you. Perhaps one of the first white caps and flushed water that has come through this particular sewer in quite some time, as all of the refuse is being picked up by the geyser, and it is on the surface in a wave rushing towards you.
Oh God! I try and fit as much of my body inside this box as possible, while simultaneously trying to swim my way, paddle through the water.
Okay, so as you jump inside and kind of pull yourself into the box, it is mere seconds later when you feel the punch against the side of the wood, and as you get hit, the canvas and the wood of the box begin to ride very much like with the rest of the waste. Graham, you and your box are now riding with lettuce and board and shit and sail as you all rush through the sewer system of Waterdeep. And a moment later, as the box kind of jostles and you look underneath it, you see coming up ahead one of the outspouts that leads to the lower reaches of Waterdeep Harbor as you are being pressed out to sea. And with that, we will cut back to Val and Morwen as you all are coming down towards the docks. It does not take long before you see Ruva coming back up towards London's fog.
Ruva.
Oh, I would never thought I'd be able to say that I'm happy to see you, but I am.
What the hell is happening?
Rufa, what's going on?
So much is happening. I just got put on display by these illusionist twins, and I killed one, and she turned into wax, and I don't know where Graham or I don't know where Graham is.
Whoa! You're laying a lot on us really fast.
Okay.
What?
One thing at a time. Okay. So, remember the fight at London's fog?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
And the weird those.
Yes.
Those are the wax things?
those are the wax things.
Okay,
I
but
think
what
they're
are
trying
they?
to reclaim. I think they're trying to reclaim the city. This illusionist girl showed me the history of Waterdeep, and it was made by these wax people and these tentacled creatures with.
Whoa. Hang on. Like octop or like
Like they have from face.
that.
Yeah,
That's not good.
I think we've seen
That's
those
not good.
before.
That one is not.
Yes, I might
That
have
one
seen
filled your
one.
mind with fog, didn't it, Morwen?
Yeah, they said that it was my fault that everybody had died, but nobody had died. So I don't understand. It's okay. I got over it.
I'm just gonna take Morwen and just hug her, just
Oh,
air hug her.
yeah, that's yes.
You're a cat.
That's yeah.
Okay.
I can't wait. Please let me.
Yes, fine. Sorry, I just.
No, are you not okay?
So
I
the question. Sorry, please.
no. Go, please. I'm just gonna pat Val on the shoulder.
I'm gonna do the same gesture to Ruva. It's good to see you again. First of all, let's just get that out of the way. I'm itching for some action. I need to put the hurt on these bastards. Do we know where the others are, and do we know if they're in their clutches?
I don't know where Graham is. I saw him briefly at the theater that I was being kept at. Him and his weird uncle. But now I don't know where either of them are.
Okay.
But the nice thing is, I didn't get arrested for killing this small devil woman. And
Arrested? Why would you be arrested? Weren't you in private?
no, I think the crow, the investigator crow man saw me.
Oh no.
But
no.
no, it's good. It's okay. He seemed to
No,
be
you-
okay and wanting to
No.
help.
You understand how I feel about law enforcement around me.
I understand, and trust me, as someone who's not really into this whole birds in the sky thing for law enforcement, I'm much more militant in what I prefer. This is all very odd. But he said he would help, and now we have to go to this Kraken boat. He's meeting us there. Maybe Graham will be there too.
Cats and crows and octopus. Oh my.
Oh my! Have I?
If we're trying
have
to find
I...
a,
No, go on. You're okay.
if we're trying to find our friends, then I think it's actually a good idea to meet up with this crow fellow.
He does seem to be everywhere that we are. So,
What
Yeah.
did
Wait.
you say?
wait, I have something. And I'm gonna like look around in my pack, and I believe from like the first episode, I have some paper that if I write a note on it, I can send it to whoever.
That is correct.
So-
yes.
Cool. Yeah, right.
The callback. So I'm going to write a quick note. What was the name of the boat again? It was the Kraken.
Kraken's Folly.
The Kraken's Folly. So I'm gonna write the Kraken's. Meet us at the Kraken's Folly, and I'm going to seal it up and send one to Graham, wherever he is, and I'm gonna write another one and send the other one to Edmur. Or try to.
Okay. So a couple things. While we have our group on the street here, as this is the first time that Val, Morwin, and Ruva, in her right mind, have been in this particular section of Waterdeep between London's Fog and the dock, I'd like you guys to roll me some perception checks, please.
Yes, sir. Nice. A 20.
Hey,
No, that's an 8.
an 11.
As Val and Morwin are just being barraged by this information that has come in since their time at London's Fog, what's happened to the rest of the group, the fact that everybody seems to be split, Ruva, it is you that as you turn and look, you see in a puddle of light, kind of half illuminated with the different shield meat kind of bills, promoting the various festival events that are going on. You then see that there are both bounty posters indicating a tabaxi that is fitting your description. There is a picture, but it's not necessarily exactly a rendition of your likeness. And beside the bounty poster, there is an information wanted poster for a Triton, and there are no pictures associated with that particular bill.
I'm just gonna grab Morwin's head and drag us into the shadows real quick, just out of sight.
Oh, hey, no,
Just
why?
pick her up by the head.
No, I have feet. I can walk. You just have to point.
No,
You just have to point me in the right direction, and I will walk.
We are-
Gee,
we are
goodness.
wanted. And not in a good
mean-
way.
I was gonna say that's lovely, and for the first time in my life, I feel better. But now you've ruined it. Thanks.
Ruva, roll me a stealth check as you do all this.
A 11.
Val, as you bear witness to Tabaxi and Triton taking to the shadows, as you scan the area around, you notice that several eyes, whether they be from vendor, pedestrian, simple commoner, or common folk, eyes take notice of the two as they disappear into the shadows.
I'm going to stand nearby, but I'm going to try and seem nonchalant about it, like I wasn't with them.
Roll me a deception.
Right on. And I'm going to keep an eye on those people who have been watching just to make sure that things don't go screwy. That's going to be 15. I'm not sure if Fantasy Grounds got it.
Okay, well, I got it, and I trust you. So with a 15,
Okay.
you are
Probably.
you are able to kind of just pull yourself back from the scene just a bit, Val, as is your case. This is old hat to you. The City of Splendors is your city, of course. And as you take to Shadow as well, one decidedly different than the Tabaxi and the Triton, you realize that no eyes follow you or mark you as being with the pair. But you are now about 10 feet away, kind of, cross street or cross alley from the pair. You're still within earshot and eye shot, but yeah.
If anyone tries to make a move towards them, I'm going to be on them like a bug.
Got it. Okay, and now with the time done and with the narrative already in place for Ruva, you meet us at the Kraken's Folly, the location, and as you finish on the sheet of papers or one of the papers that you have, it immediately folds up into what looks like a swan. It takes flight, the long neck elongating in this origami as you see it fly away to points unknown, presumably to Graham. And as you do an identical note, and this time send it to Edmur, as you sign it, you see it fold and turn into what looks like a bat as the wings hang underneath and broken, bending in the opposite direction. It flaps twice and then drops inert to the ground.
Oh, no.
I don't think your spell worked. Try it again.
I only have 3 sheets left. Let me make one important one first, and hopefully this one will work. And I'm going to write the same thing to Artemis and try to send it to him.
Okay, as you send it to Artemis, you see the page fold into what looks like a bird of prey, a hawk or a falcon, because it still maintains the same color of parchment. You're not sure exactly what it is, but it has the kind of the snub head and the jagged beak of some type of bird of prey. And as it takes off into the air, it powerfully, even for such a small little folded origami creature, and it rockets into the night.
Okay, one more time for Edmur. And then we'll save this last sheet just in case. Mm-hmm. And I'll write the same message out. And I'll even add a, please at the end. And I'll try to send it again.
This time when you write the same information, the same plea to Edmur, instead of turning into a bat, you see the paper crumple. And for a moment, you think it's just balling itself up. But then you realize instead of a ball, it's ovoid. And you see that it is an egg. And the egg drops to the ground and it cracks open. And you see a crow come out, look around, and fly off.
I really don't like this city.
No. Do I know anything about the Kraken's Folly? Is it a name that rings any bells with me?
Yeah, because you are of the sea, Morwen. Why don't you go ahead and roll me a history check, and we'll see if you can pull anything from the brain pan.
Okie dokie. Let's have a look. Where is my
While
D20?
she's doing that, I'm going to take the last piece of paper and kind of put it back in my pack. Almost just very, very safely as a piece to bring back to my people.
That's
Absolutely.
21.
So you take it and kind of place it securely, and with a 21, you remember that the name of the Kraken's Folly is in fact a sundered ship that is kind of permanently housed in Waterdeep. There are actual buildings kind of built around it down in Mistshore, and it's just one of those things that's sort of happened in the City of Splendors, you know, in a city that has a couple 100-foot statues that walk around and get drug into the ground and magic aplenty. Sometimes things happen that the city just doesn't have time to clean up. And with those types of situations, you experience something like the Kraken's Folly, where it shows a broken ship against the city, and then it becomes the city. And that's what you remember, Morwen.
Have you ever been to the Kraken's Folly?
No. I didn't
No?
even know what it was.
Oh, it's really cool. So it's like a part of Waterdeep now. Like, it's kind of like me, right? It came from the sea, and then it just kind of became a permanent fixture. Please don't look at me like that. I'm trying to be poetic and nice. There's been a lot of weird noise going on and a lot of weird things going on, and I'm trying to kind of lighten it in a poetic way.
Fine. Fine. We should move quietly. I don't know how many people are going to be looking for us. And I'm just going to kind of motion over to Val to say that we're kind of going and to follow.
I give a look, tap my forehead, and I follow along.
Okay. Are you going to let them go like 30, 40 feet and then kind of trail behind them, Val? Or are you going to give even a wider berth? Okay.
Yes, if they're wanted, then the goal is to keep an eye on them.
Gotcha. Okay, so Val, as we break from this scene, I would like you to roll a perception check as you are just keeping an active watch on the area as opposed to passive.
Only 9.
The city, yep. The city is very heavy with the festival of Shield Meat fast approaching. The streets are choked with about 3 times as many pedestrians as normal. However, that's a good and a bad thing, as the Tabaxi and the Triton are able to kind of slip among the shoulders and heads, with the half-orc trailing behind, a watchful presence, a guardian, to see that no one else tries any types of shenanigans. And as we pull from that scene, as they head towards the Mist Shore and the Kraken's Folly, we take it over to Inspector Roscrow, as you are just now getting to the coastal area, the area along the docks where the sundered ship of the Kraken's Folly kind of stands out in sharp contrast to the squares, rectangles, and triangles of the built geometry of the landside architecture, and the spires and the rounding of the Kraken's Folly still put together, even despite its sundering, definitely adds a shadow and a twist to this part of the skyline. And Inspector Roscrow, as you're going forward, I'd like you to roll a perception check for me.
Whoops. Lost my stats. Give me a sec.
Sure thing.
Perception. 14.
Okay, so as you're going with a DC of 10, you feel that rumble beneath your feet again, as a systematic popping of both grate and vent and gutter leak out this fresh water into the streets, as you see the continuation of the sewers flushing, heading towards the dock or the harbor that is very close to you. And as you turn and look, you see a cloaked figure about 200-300 yards off, standing right by the area of the dock, the boardwalk area. And the cloaked figure sits down and puts feet over, dangling above the harbor of Waterdeep. As Graham, you and your box shoot out of one of the sluices just below the feet and splash into the harbor.
Yeah. Thank God for this box. Saved my life. Oh. Wonder what city I'm in now.
You see a hand reach down in front of you.
Ugh. Look up to it.
You see a human face, veiled but still human.
Hello. Sorry about all this. I'll get out now. I was just taking a swim, and I've pulled myself up
like
with the assistance. Yeah, it's just
once pulled up. Yeah, she's definitely smaller than you, but she has a strength that she is able to easily pull you out of the water, and she looks at you.
Well, it wasn't running away from the city guard, if that's what you were thinking. Because I wasn't. I'm Graham. Thanks for helping me there. What you up to? Whereabouts are we?
You're in Waterdeep's harbor, and you see her pull Edmur's sword from her back.
Oh. Wow, you've got a sword just like my uncle.
She
Well, he's
flips
not really
it
my
over.
uncle, I guess, but
She flips it over until the handle is. She presents it to Graham.
Okay. I'm kind of confused now because I sort of came out the sewer, wasn't really expecting to see anyone, and who are you?
I'm you. Before you were you.
What?
I guess you could
What the hell
say
does that
we're.
mean?
Well, I guess you could say that I'm your sister. You're my brother. Regardless, I believe Edmur is both of our
Didn't say
uncles.
Oh!
If that's what you call him.
Oh! He was always really cagey about whether or not he had other nieces and nephews. That's great. It's great to know. Great to meet you. Did he send you? I guess he must have, with the sword and everything. So what's your name?
It's unimportant.
It's a
But,
weird name. But Uncle Edmur knew some odd people, I guess, so.
he did. Graham, who are your
Yeah.
friends?
Oh, I've got loads of friends. There's like 3 of them. And, well, there's Ruva. She's kind of like my aunt, I guess. And then there's Morwin. She's like my cool older sister. And then there's Val. He's like my cool older brother. And then there's Uncle Edmur. But you already know him.
What would you do if you only had your cool siblings and not your uncle anymore?
That's an odd question. Has he gone shopping again for shoes? Because sometimes he does that. And it seems like he's never coming back, but he always does come back. Because he always runs out of shoes. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. He'll be back.
She leans forward. There's so much of me that wants to lie right now. To say that he ran off and left you. To fall into his demons again. Perhaps even selling you out or selling your friends out. Your Ruva and Morwin and Val.
Doesn't sound like Uncle Edmur at all.
It's exactly like Edmur. But I can't say that. Or I won't. Your uncle, perhaps for the first and only time in his life, decided to end it by saving you and Ruva and Morwin and Val.
What? What do you mean, end it?
He's gone, Graham.
You just said he hadn't gone anywhere.
Nowhere you can follow. Unless you're very unlucky.
Out of town?
Very far out of town.
Oh. Is he coming back?
He left you this. And she presents the sword again to Graham.
Huh. He takes it. That's strange. He always carries it on him. He didn't mention to me that he was going out of town, so it doesn't make much sense to me. Did he say what he was doing?
Making amends.
He's never been good at fixing things. All his shoes
No, he
ended up
hasn't.
broken. He had to get new ones.
Are you going to be all right, Graham? By yourself here in the City of Splendors?
By myself. I mean, I've got my friends. I'm sure Uncle Edmur will come back. He never gets far. He always goes off for a little while and then comes back when he needs more shoes and stuff. So I'm sure that'll be okay. And now I've got you as well. You're my new sister, right?
Believe it's time for you to stand on your own, Graham. As one of many and not one beholden to any.
That was a nice rhyme, but I don't... This is all kind of weird, you know? You just showing up like this?
It is. But you're strong. She pats you on the forearm.
Not really. I mean... But... Sometimes I kill people by accident. I guess.
You seem to be rather proficient with that.
See, well, Uncle Edmur must have told you a lot about us. Are you sure you don't want to come with us? I've got to find the others. They must be around here somewhere. I'm still in Waterdeep, like you say.
She points over your shoulder. I believe they're on their way.
Oh, do you want to meet them? I can introduce you as my cool new sister. Kind of cryptic and weird, but that's how I always imagined my sister would be.
She points behind you.
I look.
When you turn around, you see what looks to be a swan of origami flying towards you, and it lights upon your shoulder. It is made of paper, and as soon as it touches you, it becomes inert.
Whoa. Did you do that? That's so cool.
She's no longer there.
Whoa. Oh. Huh. I'd look at the piece of paper.
It is Ruva's message. The Kraken's Folly in Mistshore. And though you have no idea where you are other than the docks, you do, however, see a sort of familiar sight in the Kenku Ross Crow, who is now about 200 yards away from you, witness to this entire scene.
Oh. Hey, mister. You're the investigator from before. Did you just see a girl here? I didn't just imagine her, did I? Sometimes I imagine family members.
No, he was there.
Oh. Oh. Okay, she must be magic then. Maybe she's like my guardian angel or something.
Are you Graham?
Yeah. I think we met before briefly. I had gone into a place and accidentally killed a bunch of people, and you were all sort of investigating, and then we went, and that's all I remember. Yeah, I probably shouldn't be telling you about all this, should I? The others are always telling me not to talk to the police. But I just, you seem nice.
Good. A lot of people are looking for you. Bad people.
Oh, you guys are after me, right? No, you're not. I wasn't running from the guards. Okay, I confess everything. Oh.
Go on.
We were trying to... Ruva was at a circus, and then she was running, and there were these people we were chasing, and I was there with Uncle Edmur just to see a musical mage, and then Ruva started going crazy and trying to kill people, and she ran after them, and I ran as well, and then I started doing magic, and then they were like, he's a magic user, so I ran into the sewer, and then I found a box, and now I'm here. How much time do I have to do?
You're friends with Ruva.
Oh, yes,
She'll be here shortly.
I mean... Oh.
It's not toddle too far. Come.
And I lead
Going to jail.
I lead Graham into like a dark alley as like the guards, I guess, would approach.
And as that is taken care of, a couple things are going to happen. We're going to have the rest of the group make their way down to this area. First, Ruva and Morwin would pass the alley, and then several steps later, Val would pass by. Val would probably notice that both Graham and Roscrow are in the vicinity. We're going to say that you all make it back up together. The only thing that is in this area, other than the general commerce of either Shield Meet, the festival being set up, or just the general dock work, you see that there are children playing along a certain area, 3 in total, 3 humanoids. One of them appears to be a tiefling. They are just playing their version of Waterdavian dress up as they jump and gesticulate with wooden swords and shields and weapons of perceived power. But you are standing there, and across from you is the sundered form of the Kraken's Folly, dark, save for a lone lantern hanging from the cracked mainmast.
This is it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Morwin, is this
Yeah,
it?
Yep, this is the one. Mm-hmm.
Have we been followed in any way?
With your earlier roll, you did not see anything that would indicate that there was a pursuit or anyone that had kind of broken in between both you and Ruva and Morwin as any type of tale. None that Val could see.
In that case, I'm going to try and close the gap and meet up with my friends.
You quickly do so, and as you pull forward, you all would recognize that both Graham and those of you, especially Ruva, who's just recently met Roscrow, you would see the Kenku there as well. You would also see that Graham is holding Edmur's sword, the one that Ruva carved.
I'm going to run over to Graham.
Ruva!
Graham!
I'm sorry, the police are here.
Are you okay? Where did you go?
Oh, don't worry, it's just poo.
It's just poo?
Again?
Yeah.
This is how you get illnesses. How are you? Oh, you must be cleaned.
I jumped into a sewer and I didn't drink too much. But then they got me. I went to
Who
Roscoe.
got you?
Him. And he forced me to come back here to get the rest of my co-conspirators. I'm not sure how much time we have to do in the clink.
I think the officer is okay. He is helping us.
Oh.
But we must also help him.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of pressure. Okay.
It's okay. We are just helping whatever we can do.
Is everyone else okay?
I'm fine. I'm a bit
Edmure?
confused.
I met someone when I just came out of my Canada box that said she was my sister, kind of, because Uncle Edmur was her uncle as well. And she said something really cryptic about him not going away and her not lying to me by saying that he'd gone away. But then she said that he had gone away for a very long time and wasn't coming back, and that he wanted me to have the sword. And
child,
I don't know what's going on.
I just want to take the sword and investigate it.
Roll me an insight or arcana check.
Okay, I'm gonna do insight. Natural 20.
Oh shit!
Natural fucking 20. It's my own sword.
Myth, you ready?
Yeah, okay.
Ruva, as you touch the sword, very similar to whenever you saw those noble people in that dreamlike state, you feel the carved coral around you as you hold in the scrimshaw that you kind of emblazoned on this weapon. And with one beat of your eyelids, you are at the docks, and with the next, you are standing in a space of rose, of light that is tinged with red, of perhaps almost looking like you're from the inside of a gem or some bright space or balloon. And Edmur is standing beside you.
He's not his face isn't swollen like it used to be, and he doesn't have the eyes bulging as they were, and a little more handsome than he would. Probably an image if he never took the drugs.
Edmur.
Yeah, Ruva.
You look well.
I feel well. Feel great, actually.
Where are we?
Destiny? Fate?
That's not like you to say these things.
I mean, you're right. But things change. People draw different cards, and then you gotta play them.
And now you're dead? Trapped? Both?
I'm here, right?
But where is here? Is it the inside of my sword that I carved for you?
You know, I've been trying to figure that out. You see, I think over there, how it hooks towards the right, I think that's the bladed curve, I believe. But I mean, also, if you look hard enough, you could see there's bits of these runes right on. Look, if you could feel. You just reach out here and you could feel. Look at that. That's the carvings. So I think, yeah, I think I'm all yes, yeah. I think we're inside the plague.
He seems right.
Who did this to you, Edmur? Was it a girl? Graham says that there was a girl who claimed she was his sister or something.
No girl.
Your niece?
No niece. A man.
Is he telling the truth?
You think. There's no roles inside the domain of Edmur.
So, did you do this?
Hey, no, not me. I mean, at least, not the real me, but a broken, sad man had done this. And the only way I could really make sure everyone was all right is if I was to, or if they were to do what has been done. You see, there's a lot of people who are who are after you. All of you. Not just you and Graham, but there's everybody is all in danger. And I've just been letting it go for way too long. So,
What
yeah.
do you know, Edmur? I'm like taking a step towards him now, in anger.
He steps back.
There's not
From-
much I do.
As this kind of confrontation exists, Ruva, you begin to see kind of a cloudy nature in this space. And one of the walls that he indicated with the runes kind of reversed and from the backside, you see it bleed and split as it too becomes a measure of kind of gem-like opacity with this surface level translution. And you see that noble couple as they appear to be arguing, and it looks as if whatever they were using to try to find you, to track you, to uncover who had invaded their privacy and their thoughts, it seems to have been undone. And you don't know how this occurred. You don't know how you know this occurred. But it seems that whatever Edmur did, it's hiding you all from these eyes that are prying. As long as you have the sword.
I don't think I would ever say that you are now some kind of guardian angel. And I'd hate to ask what you did in the first place to get yourself into this trouble, but I suppose I have to thank you.
I'm no angel.
Well,
It's the last lost, sad man. I'll do what I can. If it's to be staying inside this hallway forever, so what? I can't do what I've done before, over and over again. I'll guard you if I can. But I'm no angel.
you're no demon either. And
For those who don't really
Stick
know
my-
me, I guess.
I'll stick my paw out to shake his hand.
He reaches out and he grabs yours, but you don't feel anything.
There's no substance to it.
No.
It's good to know that you'll always still be with us. I'm sure Graham will find comfort in this.
Yeah. Look out for him, all right?
You know I will.
I do. Yeah.
And I want to just kind of bow my head and try to get out of this vision.
Kind of waits. Watches and you
With
see
a blink.
kind of trickle down his face.
And that's the last thing you see, Ruva, as you close your eyes and you see Edmur in a prison of his own design, but one that which he volunteered. You close your eyes and open them again, and your friends are before you.
He did a great sacrifice for us.
What do you
Ruva,
mean?
we lost you there for a moment. Are
I
you sure?
found Edmur, and I'm gonna hold up the blade and just tap it
Where is he?
in here. I made this blade for him because he did not know how to fight or defend himself. And now he is protecting us in his own way. Somehow, what he's done, we were under the eyes of some creatures who wanted us dead, or at least watched. And he has removed their gaze from us, so long as we hold him with us.
Your story sounds unbelievable, Ruva, but that sound in your voice, that soft respect, that quiet sadness, I believe you, as strange as it may seem.
Val, I can hardly believe myself. City of Splendors. City of Nightmares. Ram, you should hold on to this. It was a gift from me to him, and it belongs with you.
I don't understand.
He gave his life, or whatever was left of it, to protect us. I think that's really all there is. But just know he's looking out for you, Ram.
Okay.
Graham, while the sword is in your possession, your spell DC is increased by 1, and your spell attack is increased by 1. Also, for the rest of the group. Also, with the rest of the group, as long as it is in possession, and you are all within 50 feet of the sword, you cannot be scryed.
Nice.
As Edmur watches over the group.
Well, I'm feeling a lot better about this whole dead uncle thing. No.
Wow, you bounced back real quick there.
Jesus Christ.
No, Graham is really, like, yeah, he's really affected by this. He doesn't say too much, and he doesn't sort of like scream or cry anything, but he just quietly sort of retreats into himself.
Once I see him do that, I just want to grab him on his shoulder and just kind of look down, like, to get on his level. You know we are a family, right?
Yeah.
You know I'll take care of you?
I know, I'm just sad.
It is okay to grieve. Back on my island, we lost many good soldiers. But they gave what they could for us to be safe, for us to explore. And your Uncle Edmur was very noble, even with all his misgivings. Now.
Yes, it just doesn't feel real. But I guess I have this still.
Yeah, you see? But chin up now. We have to do some real thinking and some real investigating now with Mr. Crow. So
okay,
you're going to use your
best.
brain. You're the smart one.
Oh.
Ross Crow makes
Okay,
his
if
way
everybody
over
could roll a
to-
perception check for me. Yeah.
Ross Crow makes his way over to a one of the bounties, the posters nearby, and he pulls it off of the wall, one of Edmur, and he just somberly rips it in half.
As Ross Crow does that, the rest of you, as you roll incredible perception checks, you guys see on the deck, the slightly tilted deck of the Kraken's Folly, Ruva, you would recognize this person as the other twin. You see the half-elven girl step forward into the lamplight, and immediately from the shadows of the decking, you see 5, 6, 7 figures step forward as she begins to converse with them. from this distance, you are too far away to hear what they are saying.
Oh, I am bristling with anger. Oh. That.
Who is that? Oh, that's...
And
Oh, dear.
I want to
Oh, is
like
it?
nod at Ross Crow and just point up and be like, "That's the other bitch."
They're the ones that got Uncle Edmur?
They're the ones that got me.
Oh, we should do something severe. Like, arrest them or hit them a bit, right?
How far
probably.
away are these people? Sorry, is this go?
You're less than about 100 yards away from the ship, and the ship itself, even though it's tilted, is probably about 15 to 20 feet above the street level. So, you're kind of looking up, and it's angled a bit towards you, so it's away and up a bit. 100 yards in total, yeah.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do?
Let's get her.
I'm
Yeah, first
practically
things first.
chomping at the bit.
We need to find a way on that boat. What do I see on the wharf? What's around the ship where it's moored?
With your earlier perception check, Val, you are able to pinpoint that there doesn't appear to be any type of guard on this, any guard away from this grouping on the deck. Now, there may be somebody below decks, you're not sure, but anybody that's actually visible to the night air, you don't see anyone. You don't look on the rooftops adjacent and see any type of lookouts or archers. It seems that if this is a meeting, in your estimation with a 17 perception, it is taking place at the local level. This is not something that was maybe even a planned meet beyond something that was done rapidly. No preparations have been made for this particular encounter. So it looks as if they are just... Yeah, there's a rope ladder off to the side, and it looks as if there was a gangplank, but it has been pulled up onto the ship. And the rope ladder is more like rigging, like something that you would see maybe even old netting, or just something that was there to kind of buffer against a set sail or light ship that kind of maybe sat at one point beside the Kraken.
I'm going to turn to everyone and I say, I don't have the heart to wait any longer. I say we take the direct approach.
I agree.
Fine by me,
I approve.
Mr. Crow.
I have the sword in
Let's move.
both of my hands.
I am going to, as quietly as I can,
I'll permit it this one time.
I'm going to quietly
Mr.
go
Crow.
into the water.
Okay. So you guys you can approach from water side, you can approach from the dry side. It's up on land. So you can if you enter from the sea, regardless, as you kind of moved from your position currently towards the Kraken's Folly, tell me where you're going and roll me a stealth check.
Are they sneaking
I
up
am-
on? You all sneaking up there?
I'm sneaking, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying, but also not.
Let's have a look, see if I can as well. Oh, 19.
Ross is gonna sneak. I think he may just walk up to the front and try to be a distraction.
It's not a bad call.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. He's just gonna. He sees everybody kind of slink into the shadows or into the water, there, what have them, and then he just takes out his pipe again, and he just paces and bobs up the gangplank or up the dockside towards the main entrance of this. What would be this?
Awesome. With Roscrow's help, then, everybody that has rolled, you can roll with advantage, as immediately as the Kenku kind of pops out, people begin to look as you see the conversation stop, eyes shift towards.
Still 19.
Yeah, me too.
That's pretty
Nice.
good.
Oh, Graham, at
you
11. That's better.
I'm sorry.
No, that's like really good for Graham.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So as you all enter, the only person I need to know in which direction they are approaching is Graham. Everyone else, if you're slipping into the water, you slip in unseen. If you are creeping through shadow against the dirt side of the Kraken's Folly, you do so unseen. Graham, whether it's by intent, your approach is noted.
I'm not going in the water. I'm going around the sides. Yeah, and I don't think he intends to now.
Okay. So as you're going forward, it's a split between the faces that are on board the Kraken's Folly as several, what is this? What? I can't see. And you see that people begin to kind of flood to the sides as they look out and see Roscrow, and they look over and they see Graham kind of in the shadows. The rest of you, though, are able to take the decks without being seen. They are on a heightened state of alert, but they seem to be facing dirt side. And with that being said, instead of doing any more of this nonsense, I will give you guys, I should have shared that with you. As we will place some people here as they rush to the sides to see oncoming fun. Yep. And as they all sit there, Roscrow, what do you say as your approach was the most deliberate?
I think he just approaches. I wish to speak for the master. Let's see.
They all begin to look around. Who are you, bud? This isn't your nest.
Oh, but you're wrong.
You see several of them raise hand crossbows up. I don't think you understand, bud. This isn't your nest.
I don't think you understand, bud. This isn't your nest.
Roll me an intimidation check. Nervous laughter from the front couple. Just, you stay where you are, eh? Don't come up here.
Right here? You want me to stay right here? Or you want me to move, huh? Right here.
Somebody else talk. Somebody else talk to this thing. I don't think it freaked me out.
Somebody else talk, yeah. I'm freaking him out.
See? And one of them steps forward. What do you want then? Old blackbird of you?
I come looking for your master. It's all.
Blimey, it is crazy. The rest of you have taken the boat.
Yeah, he starts turning this scene into more of a performance rather than it is a threat.
I was just gonna say roll performance check because I know what you're doing. Yeah, roll performance check for me, man.
16.
Excellent. So all of them kind of creep forward to the edge here as they're looking down on. They're just absolutely enraptured by the Kenku as he imitates their voices, while the rest of you are able to take to the ship up on the sides here, and I will go ahead and let me see. Yeah, you guys are able to come up along the back of the get my party up here. See, can I put you in there? No, of course not. Okay, so you guys from the south side, if you guys want to pop up, you are behind these creatures. As soon as you get behind them, you notice that the half-elven twin is beginning to move away, uncertain. You see an odd-looking... It almost looks as if there is a loaf of bread in her hands. It is a long, almost like half a baguette type of item that she is holding and seems to have been ready to present to one of these fellows, but they're all now watching the Kenku performance. Graham, you're still noted, but not nearly as interesting as Roscrow, who is taking their attention. The other three who are not in the eyes of the enemy, what would you do, Val, Ruva, and Morwen?
We're by the rope ladder, yeah?
Yep.
I want to hop up and immediately throw my harpoon at the twin.
I am with Ruva, but with the throwing knife.
Still going at the twin?
Mm-hmm. I just follow her lead. She wants that one dead. I want her dead.
Nice.
Everybody needs a friend like Val. Everybody in life needs a friend.
Val is a real, like, he's a ride or die kind of guy.
True ally.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody needs
Amazing.
somebody that if you jump up and throw a harpoon, everyone needs a Val to be like, yeah, fuck, yeah, okay, let's do it. You know, is that what we're doing? Okay.
Val's the type of guy that if you walk into a bar and start any random fight, he's like right there with you.
Yeah.
Like,
All right,
doesn't matter how
He's
dumb the fight
escalating.
is, he's throwing the first beer. Like,
Yeah, he's the person that as soon as the person that you fronted against talks shit, you just see a shake go over your shoulder. That's the buddy. That's your buddy. Who's has the sneak attack round. Okay, so as Ruva and then Val just 1-2, harpoon, dagger come flying out. Morwen, what are you doing?
now you're muted.
We gotta silence.
Is that better?
Yes.
Hello?
It is.
There we go. So I can see this group of people all up here, right? And I can see the two of them like throwing themselves forward. I'm gonna on the previous success try and cast sleep at that big group of people.
Roll me that dice, and I'll let you know what happens.
Okie dokie. Let me work out. Where does it say how many it is? Oh, that's not useful.
You guys will be able. Yeah, you guys will be able to jump up, and the three of you that are not in the eyes of the crowd are able to get this attack off. So I would like a harpoon attack, a throwing knife attack, and of course the aforementioned sleep spell as the crowd that is being entertained by Roscrow and a half-elven humanoid learn that there is more to the shadows of the City of Splendor.
Okay, 78. 78.
Ooh, that's not very good.
How do I roll 78?
Flash dice, base 78.
You
I don't
should
know
be
if
able to
it's-
just click and hold on the 8 too. Doesn't that give you a right click on it?
No idea.
You can roll 5
You
and
can
2.
right click
Yeah.
on dice, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm
dice
guessing
roll.
it's probably too late for me to do so, but can I also rage?
Yeah, that's a bonus action. I'll allow you to rage and then throw.
Okay, so I'll rage, and then gain bonus to the damage roll that increases as you gain levels. So I think I get a bonus to my roll there. So I actually think it's a 10, but I don't know. I don't think it really matters that much.
Yeah, it's even with the 10, it would still go wide. But two of the people that are watching the Kenku just, I can't believe son, just you see them fall over and go to sleep as Morwin's sleep spell strikes them. But let me see an attack from Val as he is able to fling knife as well, or anything he can do, your whole bevy of attack actions. So
9 plus 6 is 15.
that is definitely going to hit.
Or that is a 6 damage.
Okay, so with a 6 damage, the hilt, up to the hilt of the throwing knife, embeds itself in the lower chest of the half-elven girl as she, out of nowhere, out of the shadows, as Val, ready to fight. You know, he did some pre-drinking, they got to the bar, and he's just ready to fight as soon as they walked in. So, as all that happens, go ahead and roll me some initiative, kids, as we figure out who gets to do something next. And also, Graham.
Very good.
16.
Oh, crap. That's my first nat 1 in a while.
Save.
And yep, let's see.
Well, Morwin
With a nat 20.
Natural 20.
Okay, so as it goes
Great
now,
place
it is
to have a
Morwin,
nat 20.
Graham. Yeah, Morwin, Graham, Ruva, and it looks as if there's going to be a roll-off. I'm going to give it to Grosscrow, the bad guys, and unfortunately Val. So Morwin, as you cast your sleep spell, you see two of them drop to the ground unconscious, definitely out of this fight unless they are provoked. You see four others as they turn, brandishing sickles and sabers. One of them has what looks to be a carpentry hammer. These don't appear to be the most equipped thugs that you've crossed. They look more and more like a kind of hastily thrown together militia for thugs. But the half-elven girl, as she is pulling or attempting to pull Val's blade from between her ribs, she's sputtering up blood. Get them! Morwin, you are up.
Okay. Right. I don't know how to be helpful. I'm like, I'm going to be helpful. Good. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna point at one of the guys, and I'm going to attempt to charm them with a charm person spell.
Let's do that.
And in fact, I can do that for two of them.
Let's do it with two of them.
I can try and charm the two of them. That I can try and do. Say I'm gonna point. I'm gonna point at the two of them and kind of go, "Oh, please don't do that," and just hold.
And they have no modifier, so I'm going to roll a straight 20, one for each of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nat 20 for the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And an 8 for the second one. So
okay, well, that dude's
charmed.
done.
What would you like to tell them, Morwin? As one of them kind of was like, What are you talking about? And the other one who was, wow, what did it say? That one's the higher pitched one, seems to be enamored with you.
Don't do that. go jump off into the city and have yourself a little break, friend.
Break! And you see one of them just jump over the side. You hear a very wet crack, and my leg, as it jumps the 50. It jumps the 20 feet down off the side, not taking the ladder, but taking the most direct route to the city. But it's like a Will Ferrell skit. I think my leg's broke. Let me try the. Oh, there it is. There's the bone. Right. Ah. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. So you have the three there, Morwen. As one of them doesn't talk, the other one jumps over, snaps his leg, and we are now down to Graham. Graham, you see these three in front of you.
All right. Well, Graham is going to. He's going to run in with the sword. That's what he's going to do. He's got Uncle Edmur's sword, and he's going to shout, "For Uncle Edmur!" and try and run in and slash at someone with his sword. And the bravest moment for Graham ever.
Right. Suddenly, it's like a scene out of Excalibur from 81. Lancelot is with us. Okay, so you charge in. Make me a. If you have a weapon attack, go ahead and make it. I'll tell you what damage to roll for. Actually, Myth can tell you what damage to roll for the sword. But go ahead and roll an attack for me.
I'll roll a dagger attack.
I think I deleted that.
That's okay.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a d12 plus 2.
Big. So plus 2 to this is 12. Holy shit.
So as you drive the sword into the gut of the one that was not charmed and did not jump off and break their leg that Morwen tried to ensorcel, you instead give them a much weaker proposition as the hilt goes completely up underneath the sternum, and in absolute shock, the carpentry hammer drops to the ground as he's looking into the face of this dragonborn holding this scrimshaw blade as the blade begins to drink. Make me a wisdom saving throw, Graham.
He also has a beret. Dragonborn with a
Whoa. Beret. Wisdom saving throw is a nat 20, baby. Graham's on fire.
And with that nat 20, you feel the flood of a very foreign sensation to Graham, but a very similar sensation to Edmur, as what would have been a snoot full of the good stuff sort of floods Graham's system for a second, and you feel the blush to your scales as whatever it was that damned, potentially saved Edmur rushes through the system of the Dragonborn. Do you have anything else you'd like to do?
That's just getting really high for a second. But that's the end of my turn.
It started off.
It's like angel dust, right?
Yeah, like a war scream, and then it ended being a panicking scream of what is happening?
Every time I'm going to encounter roleplay, I'm always reminded of like some type of scene from Train Spotting. It just constantly
weird.
It's a mystery. Okay, so with Graham done, we're gonna go to Ruva. Ruva, you see that you see Graham kill a guy.
Nice.
Nice.
I'll kind of just like nod approvingly, and then I want to approach. Like, how close am I to this woman? I can't really see myself on the thing, right? We're not there, really. We're not visible.
No, yeah, you guys I'm just marking the people you have, so we're going to theater remind this a bit as it keeps throwing all the character icons back out. But yeah, you guys are engaged in melee with all of this, so You have 2 guys left and the half-elven. So the 2 that you see and the half-elven twin who is trying to pull Val's dagger from her like kind of like upper mid-chest area. Those 3 are still in play. The 2 that you see and the half-elven girl.
Okay, I am going to brace my head down and start running towards her. I'm going to trigger my primal path when I'm within 10 feet of her. So it's 8 plus 2, so it's 13 she has to beat for a saving throw. A dex saving throw.
With a 12, that's not going to happen.
Nice. Okay, so then I roll a d6 for damage, and she'll take 3 damage from that. And then I'm going to recklessly attack with my... What am I going to recklessly attack with? With my harpoon. Yeah. I'm going to try to just jab her with it, though. So I'll roll twice.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely would need that second one. 15?
The second one hits. Yep, second one does hit.
So I'll roll the damage. So that's... oh, sorry. I made that as a javelin, but it is 2d6, so I'll just take the 6 and I guess the 5. It's 1 and 2.
Yep, those the 2. Yep.
So
that's 14
damage.
points.
Mhm.
Okay, also when your harpoon hits her, that you can then draw her towards you, correct? Isn't it barbed? Isn't that what we worked with, where you can... It's got the chain attached to it?
Yeah, but I didn't... That's if I threw it. So I threw it the first time and it was kind of ahead, and I wanted... Like, I was running towards it, kind of grabbing it, and then stabbing her with it.
Gotcha, okay. So
Yeah.
with that slice, you're able to... You basically just pierce through flesh, take a chunk of her with you, as she is heavily wounded as she looks at you, and she seems to take this baguette, this loaf of bread she has in her hand, and she lifts it into the air. And with that, we go to Ross Crow. Ross Crow, what would you like to do? You are on the ground, and you see one of the men just jump off and snap their leg directly in front of you.
How many are near me now?
You can see
Still the
2
same amount?
at the railing about 15 feet up, yeah. And the
What about
one
the guy- the
writhing in
guys that
pain
are-
at your feet.
Okay, so the guys that were around are no longer. Two of them are asleep.
2 of them are asleep. One of them has jumped off and snapped his leg. One is super dead because Graham ran him through. And 2 of them are still up, and then you can't see the other events of the deck up there. It's kind of like you're looking up into the mezzanine, sort of.
Can I take out the sending stone and call for backup? Is that a thing I can do? Be like, hey, there's a broken body, there's a broken leg down here. We're gonna need someone to pick them up. I could just kill them, but I feel like it's also his job as like a cop to...
The only person
Call
that can
in
do
a-
this is Ross Crow, so you can absolutely,
Yeah. All right.
call in
I will...
13. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna take out a sending stone and tell them that we don't need backup, but we need a cleric en route. This is So like we have a wounded, we need a cleric en route, and then I'll make my way up into the ship. So we have one person who's hurt, and there's 2 people above.
Correct, yes.
I'll spend one. I'll have one hand or one wing holding the sending stone, and then the other one will come out from being behind my back where I was holding a dagger, and I'm gonna whip it at the one up on the ledge. If I could find my attacks. Here. Hello. I had a crit that I could have used. What did I roll?
That still hits. 13 hits.
5 damage.
Okay.
As I,
So as another dagger flies from the shadows and takes out one of these guys, it doesn't drop them, but they are completely discombobulated as there is no rhyme nor reason to their ranks. They are not trained fighters. You can tell, Roscoe, that they are getting ready to break, the two that are still upright. And as it gets to their turn, they immediately do just that as the two leave the half-elven girl and they begin to move away from the area. Val, it is your turn. As they are quitting the scene, you get a opportunity attack as they are passing by you. They do not know where you are, and you get your own bevy of attacks. So what would you like to do?
Let's take that opportunity attack as I have the opportunity to. And since they don't see me, do I have advantage on that attack? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, absolutely. They have no clue where you are since you haven't done anything yet. They think they've got a clear shot. They don't. And
that is a total of 15 to hit.
Absolutely hits.
So as this guy runs past, I am just going to clock that person right in the jaw with an 8 damage.
Make me an athletics check as you hit. This guy gets tagged, but he's also running right along the railing.
All right, here it comes. 10.
With a 10, he gets cracked on the jaw, and he stops, and he kind of does that pinwheel thing as he's standing on the edge, and the railing stops him, and he just about gets his balance when the dry rot of the wood gives way and you see him back plant off to the 20 feet. There's a crack below and you hear, "My arm!"
And I still have my own suite of attacks now. It's my turn?
Correct. And there's one guy in front of you who turns and is like, "Oh shit, there's somebody else here."
Yeah, very good. So would you say that guy's within 5 feet of that broken spot?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
All right.
I'd say he's within 2 feet of it.
Well, I'm going to see that guy head off into the drink, and I'm going to say, "Oh, pity that happened to your pal." And I look over at the other guy. Care to join him? And I would like to take the shove action. We're going to do opposed athletics checks in place of one of my attacks.
Very, very good.
Unfortunately for him, that is a natural 20. Oh no, did roll 20 not? God damn it. Okay. We won't count it.
Reshot it!
Oh, that's much worse though.
Listen. Let's cut the brass tacks here. This guy's going down no matter what. I'm gonna nat 20 this, so tell me how this is Sparta, this asshole off at the top of the Kraken's Folly.
Okay. So this guy just saw his friend tumble out into the drink. He pauses for a moment to look, and my talking to him only gives him a moment to look up when he gets over 200 pounds of half work headbutting him straight in the gut. All the air is punched out of his body as my hard head sends him tumbling down, screaming into the shallow water of Deepwater Harbor.
And as he goes Wilhelm scream and all into the drink, the half-elven is left. She is clutching the wounds. She is clutching the wounds that have been given to her by the best wingman ever, Val, and then of course the other wounds that she has been given throughout the course of this fight. And as she stands there, we are going to drop out of combat as all of you have her surrounded. The remaining enemy, except for the two that are snoring soundly, are gone.
I'm gonna grab her, like she just lifted her arm, right?
And she has some type of item, that baguette looking thing in it.
I want to punch her arm to try and make her drop whatever she's holding. Just
okay. Let's do opposed athletics. Yeah, she's holding on to it tightly, and you're just gonna like knock it out of her grasp. So let's just do straight athletics check. She has no modifier.
Oh, well.
You hit her
If it
arm and it
loads.
knocks her arm down from the elevated position, but she kind of cradles it against the wound that she already has in her chest, and she stares at the rest of you. God damn you! And she starts to creep back, but she has nowhere to go.
Your sister is dead. I made sure of that.
And frankly, I'd like my knife back out of your chest, please.
You can see that she is in, at least, Ruva, you know what potentially this person could be. The visage of the half-elven girl looks as if she is at death's door, you know, very pale. The amount of blood that's leaking out on her side would indicate not necessarily a mortal wound, but something that would speak of the inability to continue a fight, as she is clutching her side with this oblong object in her hand.
So can I kind of walk over with my hands out like, hey, you really hurt. Look, we can probably help you. Let's is she like receptive to that at all?
Make a persuasion check for me.
Cool.
Or deception,
Yeah.
depending upon what you intend to do.
They're both the same, but we'll call it a deception check.
Sure.
Please. Oh, for goodness sake, that's a 6. Actually,
Now, I will remind
it's too
you-
late to use my doodad, isn't it?
I will allow you to use it because you've had it there and you've said it twice now. So go ahead and use your doodad
Okay,
if you'd
thank
like
you.
to do it.
Can
So
I,
you can
can
have
I
your nat
use my
20.
doodad, please? Many thanks.
Yes, you may.
That's a 24.
Okay, so with the nat 20 and the doodad in play, she looks at you, and for a moment, crossing over her eyes, at least as her eyes appear to be, is a measure of, there's definitely a survival instinct that is taken over here, as she thinks she didn't see you actively kill anybody, and if there's anyone that could potentially help her, so you see her relax for a second. She wasn't being aggressive before, but that caginess seems to kind of diminish just a bit as you approach.
Okay, then I'm gonna go and put my arm on her, and go. Let's put this down, and I can help get you feeling better, okay? And try and take whatever the baguette thing is off of her.
Morwen, are you sure
I
you know
will
what you're
let-
doing?
As that comes from Val, and you reach and grab the object, I am going to allow you to make an athletics with advantage as they make a normal athletics check, because you kind of charm them a bit to get close enough to.
Sure. What? No. There's a 14.
You rip it out of her hands, and as soon as she realizes what you're doing, she screams and swipes at it, but you're able to pull it back without her being able to regain possession of it. And as soon as you do so, I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Yeah, of course. That's an 8.
Okay, so as you grab this oblong half baguette, it feels like a stone beneath your fingers. It looks as if it has 3 eyes, kind of half lidded along the top, almost like where the seams of an American football would be. And as you kind of look at these eyes, they look back, and you are reminded of a whisper that you heard, delivered by a tentacle-bearded creature that says, "It's all your fault." And as that whisper of a voice rings in your ear, Morwen, The rest of you are privy to the eruption of water around you as creatures of familiar yet different variations charge the deck of the Kraken's Folly. They are slightly different versions in their carriage and dress of the melted candles that you have seen before. There is at least 10 of them as they take and leap and pounce to the boards of the rotted Kraken's Folly. Morwen, you are staring off in an almost stunned expression. In fact, you have the stunned, you are stunned for the next round. And as all of this goes down, because of the benevolence of the trickster gods of chat, not only does the water explode, revealing these creatures of melted wax that pop forward, maybe 20 feet off to the side of the Kraken's Folly into the depths of Waterdeep Harbor, a large vessel erupts from the water. On top of it, the very same thug that Val kicked off, who seems to be riding on top of this rising submarine. Well, this is something else. As it begins to lift up, hatches erupt along the top of this vessel as dark elven drow pour out of the top with hand crossbows firing. And at the very top mast, there is a crack, and a familiar figure with a hat with a large plume steps out on top, looks at all of you, and says, well, this is something else. I think there's going to be a fight. And that is where we will end this episode of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. As next week,
the cliffhanger.
we hit the vault itself. Thanks to Morwen and everyone else.
Oh. And everyone else.
I get a new doodads!
Hey,
Thank you kindly for my new doodad that I keep forgetting about.
There must always be a doodad. Oh boy. Well, my friends, that is where we're going to end tonight's penultimate episode of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Next week, we wrap things up the finale, so definitely be sure to be with us next week at 5 o'clock Eastern. I'll catch up on YouTube, as you guys know you can. We're going to give away a set of tabletop loot dice here. Do exclamation point loot in the chat for a chance to win. And let's go around the cast and crew. Did we enjoy ourselves? And of course, where can we find you guys online? Let's start with Greg. How was that tonight, Greg?
It was well. I'm sorry. I'm so out of sorts. I've been ill all weekend, and I gave it the old college try, but there were times there where I was squinting to see what you guys were rolling because the old eyes were like, let's sleep. It's time to sleep. But this group is fantastic. Thank you guys so much. I love being in Waterdeep, and I will never turn down a jaunt through the streets of the City of Splendors. Grimjack21502 on the Twitches and the Twitters. See me here, see me there. See me on Wednesdays from 1 to 4 where it's out at for Call of Cthulhu. Also over on my channel on Thursdays starting at 8, I will be taking on the companion piece to this one, Dungeon of the Mad Mage, starting this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We will see what happens beneath the streets of Waterdeep as we go under the hills and far away. But until next time.
Thank you so much, Greg. And Pip, how's that tonight?
I think I'm going to continue to make the noise. No, I always love these. I always love these, and they've got a real way of keeping us hooked until next week. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Greg, for pulling us through that. But yeah, hi. My name's Pip, and I play Morwen. You can find me usually over on Twitter shouting about something awful that the games industry has done this week. Absolutely feel free to follow me there. And if you're a fan of baking, then maybe pop over to my Twitch channel soon. Maybe.
Nice. All right. Fantastic. And James, how was that, my friend?
Oh, that was fantastic. I am James Hake. I played Val, the half-orc monk/fighter. And you can catch me on Twitter, James J. Hake. My name's right down there in the doobly-doo. And you can watch me DM the D&D show Worlds Apart, only on YouTube. Check it out. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Awesome, love it. And Myth, how was that tonight?
Man, it was great. I really like. I feel like I'm getting into Ross's character. Not Ross, from Friends, but Ross Crow, our Kenku friend. Really a lot of fun. I really liked it. So excited for next week. Excited to fight Jarl Axel or whatever that's all about. But my name is Mythomatic. You can follow me on Twitter or Twitch. On the weekends, I do a lot of role playing and tabletop. We have a game going right now called Ruins of the Mad Mage, which is where it's Dungeons of the Mad Mage, except we're not coming from Waterdeep. We're coming from Skullport. So it's super fun. It's hilarious, and thanks. And I can't wait for next week.
Fantastic stuff. And last but not least, Vandy, how was that for you tonight?
It was great. And Greg, honestly, if this is you and you're sick, man, you're great. This is amazing. So you don't even worry. Like, don't be self-conscious about anything, because this was an excellent session. My name is OMG Vandy. I played Ruva for you today. And if you want to follow what I do, you can follow me at twitch.tv/OMGVandy. I'm also on Twitter, OMGVandy everywhere. I do art things. I do RP things. I do gaming things. So if you like any of those things, come hang.
Alrighty. Well, my friends. Thank you for joining us. Let's give away the set of dice here. Congratulations go to Huggers Hunter. Congratulations, my friend. You won yourself a set of tabletop loot dice. Feel good about yourself.
Nice.
Thank you for watching. We'll be back next week for more Waterdeep Dragon Heist. But until next time, my friends, try not to roll too many net ones. We want to be there laughing when you do. Good night, everybody. Bye!